Not yet, Peter.
Live from Western New York, this is Self-Advocacy in Action. Today's special guest is Alex J. Now, here's your host, Gwen Squire.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to our show. Today's special guest is Alex. Alex, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, thanks.
Fantastic.
So let's talk a little bit about you.
Okay.
What do you want to share with us that's going on in your life right now? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I just got finished doing a fundraiser for the Center for Self-Advocacy. That was really cool. Okay. I was one of the psychic readers there.
Awesome.
And from what I was told, it seemed like there was a lot of very happy clients. I was very happy about that.
Okay.
It was a very successful fundraiser, and I was very happy to help. And I'm hoping to do that again for sure.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So what about your growing up time?
Well,
where'd you grow up?
I originally grew up in Buffalo. For the first 9 years of my life. From there, I went from Buffalo to Clymer, and I spent 12 years of my life in Clymer, where I, went through high school and did all that, and it was great. I basically spent the majority of my time growing up there in the country, which was wonderful.
Okay.
Very small town, Clymer, very tiny town. My graduating class was 20 people. So
wow.
Very, very small town.
Yeah.
And during that time, I kind of realized that I had abilities that no one else around me did. Mm-hmm. I was able to feel things that nobody else was feeling, feel other people's emotions. Even at a distance, I could feel what other people were feeling and, kind of understand what they're going through in a deeper sense. Mm-hmm. So from there, I kind of looked into that a little more. I started looking into different religions and stuff because the religion I grew up with, Christianity really didn't support the whole, extrasensory perception ideal. It was seen as like demonic or evil.
Right.
And for me, I'm like, how can this be evil? I mean, it's within me.
Yeah.
You can't be born evil.
Right.
So for me, so I started studying this stuff, and I actually really opened up my eyes to a multitude of cultures and beliefs and things like that, which is really cool. Mm-hmm. And so I studied that for from the time I was 14 until about 18. No, actually before then. But anyway, from there I actually found my mentor, Janet, who actually taught me how to develop my gifts even further.
Really?
From beyond, just being an empath to a practicing tarot reader, practicing medium, past life reader, healer, etc. So,
okay.
There's tons of things I've learned throughout the many years, not only through books but also through my training with Janet as well. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
You mind if I back up a little bit and ask you how your school years were?
Honestly, my school years were kind of rough. I mean, my background, my personal history is a bit complicated.
Yeah. You don't have to get into all of that if you don't
okay.
want to.
To be honest, it was because of my complicated background that actually helped me grow up a lot because,
Okay.
because of my past and my history, and the people that I was surrounded by in Clymer, my occupational therapist and my occupational therapist, my physical therapist, my family, my foster family, they were all really supportive.
Okay.
And they really helped me through a lot of that. I mean, yeah, I worked through a lot of issues there. But you know what? Honestly, the one person I will thank the most out of all those people would be definitely not only my occupational therapist, but my family care family, because they both taught me how to be as independent as possible and how to overcome my cerebral palsy and realize that I'm more than just a body.
Yes.
And, I'm not just a person, with an issue. I'm somebody who is actually a contributing human being that can
That's right.
help and change the world.
You're a good person.
Thank you.
Yes.
So, it was because of them that gave me the kind of do or die attitude that gave me the ability to move past my obstacles and realize, like, I can be so much more. And it was actually because of that allowed me to say, okay, if I can do this, what else can other people do that we don't even realize we can do?
Right.
So, on that note, too, I'd like to touch on the fact that when I was born, the doctors actually said to my family, they said, this kid is never going to walk even with crutches, and if he does, there's only a 10% chance
Don't you just love that?
that that's going to happen.
Yeah.
And that's very common for a lot of
Oh, yeah.
a lot of people that are diagnosed.
Right.
The funny thing about it is, about 10 years after that point, I was, walking down the hall on crutches.
Yeah.
And, the medical professionals are standing there with their mouths open and thinking all this took was a lot of effort, a lot of work, and a lot of, pushing.
That's right.
But if
did
you're
it.
willing to do it, you can get there.
That's right.
So it was through those inspirations that allowed me to actually become a better psychic that way, too.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, that's very cool. I like that.
Yeah.
You also are a self-advocate as well, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how's that been for you to be a self-advocate?
I love self-advocacy. I really do. I think it's brilliant. I really love the self-advocate movement, the self-advocacy movement.
Mm-hmm.
I love what it stands for. I love the fact that we now have a voice.
Right.
That we're not just all people in wheelchairs or other equipment,
Right.
sitting against the wall saying, "Oh, this is just us. This is who we are."
Yep.
We're
agree.
actually saying we're human beings and we have rights and we have the rights to be whatever we want to be, just like everyone else.
Right.
Which you think by now that would just be something that's understood in the general public, but it's not right now, and we're still working on that, which is really cool.
Yeah.
And so to be a part of that movement, to allow, to allow people like us to be, just be seen as people, that's a really cool thing.
Yeah.
And to fight for our rights as able-bodied individuals.
Right.
In a very superficial sort of world.
Yeah.
So.
Now, you live on your own, correct?
Correct.
How's that for you?
I love it. I personally love living on my own, and I love the fact that, I have the ability to dictate where I want to go and what I want to do and how I want to spend my money and all that stuff.
Yes.
Being independent is fantastic, and honestly, for anybody who's thinking about it or thinking about doing it, absolutely go for it. But the one thing I will stress
Yes.
to everyone about that is make sure you have a good support around you before you do that.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah.
A horse only can stand on four good, good legs if it has good legs.
Yeah.
So you gotta get those legs first.
Right. It doesn't just have to be family. either.
Absolutely. It can be friends. It can be family. It can be,
Anybody.
support to the community for sure.
Exactly.
Yeah. Anybody who's willing to support you in the way you need to be supported.
Right. So is your psychic ability what you're working on the most right now? I know you have your own website.
I do. I honestly, I've been a professional psychic for 10 years now.
Okay.
So I started when I was 18.
Okay.
And it, since then, it was kind of interesting because my foster family, the family I grew up with, they were kind of very cool about it. They're like, you're welcome to practice or do whatever you want as long as you don't bring home a Ouija board. We're fine with that.
I hear that.
So yeah.
Yeah,
So
I hear that.
they were very open-minded about it.
Yeah.
And the cool thing about it was, as soon as I finished with training with Janet, actually before I finished my training with Janet, I was actually doing psychic readings on a hotline for a while.
Really?
And that was fun because I got to talk with a lot of people from all over the world and help them with their problems and such,
wow.
which was wonderful. Right now I am working as a professional psychic, but I'm also doing multimedia, social media management as well.
Okay.
So they actually work hand in hand pretty well.
Okay.
Because you need social media nowadays to reach the world anyway.
Oh, yeah, you do.
So, but I do have a website.
What is it?
It's psychicalexj.com.
Okay.
So you can reach me there at any time. My number is there, as well as my email. So you're welcome to reach me.
I'm definitely going to check it out.
Thank you. I appreciate that. It's been great. I love what I do. Being able to serve other people is really cool. Being able to take my experiences and my intuition and my guidance and all that stuff, and combine it into one thing and being able to give it to somebody, that's the best thing I can do for the world, myself. And the one thing I've always wanted to do, in this lifetime is, make the world, or rather leave the world better than I found it.
I hear you.
So that's my mission.
You want to definitely leave your mark on the world.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Not only leave my mark, but just make it better.
Right.
Make it better.
Yeah. Now, you also belong to a self-advocacy group, correct?
Absolutely. I have multiple, actually.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yes. I belong to multiple self-advocacy groups. I belong to the core self-advocacy group.
Okay.
Moving on up,
Okay.
the self-advocacy group. I'm about to join the Spirit Wheel self-advocacy group.
Sweet.
What else? There's multiple. I'm
Forbidden
blanking now.
Fruits.
Forbidden Fruits, correct, yeah.
Yeah.
I totally forgot about that one, but yes.
That's the one I remember the
Yes.
most.
Forbidden Fruits, that one's great.
Yeah.
And I think that's it so far. I'm still joining. I'm still joining a bunch of them.
You just love self-advocacy.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's my life.
Yep.
It's my life and my passion, because being a psychic is great, and working as a psychic is great, but actually being a part of your community too, in a different way is cool as well. It gives you a different perspective. From going from being like, this individual who's giving you, someone giving you the means to live a better life, to being someone who's actually fighting for what they want in the world. It's very dualistic perspective, which is kind of cool for me. So.
Yeah. What would you say is the biggest problem that we should be working on for self-advocacy, from your perspective?
From my perspective,
Yes.
I would say to be seen as human beings. I don't think the general population sees us as human beings in the sense that we're not treated like everyone else.
I agree.
Just because we're handicapped does not mean that, we should be petted like a dog or,
Right.
Or be given a pity drink or, something like that. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've been to a bar and the bartender will pour me a drink and say, "You're so brave."
I know.
I'm sorry, brave for living?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
I mean, I get it. I understand what they're saying, and I understand that completely. However,
You're such an inspiration.
yeah, been there,
Yeah.
done that. Also, I get that. But, the one thing, though, that I think that people need to understand in general is that we're just like everybody else.
Yes.
We are everybody else. We are the everybody. When you refer to everybody, that's who you're referring to, us
Right.
too. We may be different. We may do things differently to accomplish the same goals, but we're still humans.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah. So what do you do for fun? Besides
I
the
do for fun?
self-advocacy and the psychic?
I spend a lot of time, going out to movies. I really enjoy movies a lot. I'm a big movie buff. I just recently saw the new Thor Ragnarok movie, which is
Okay.
really good. I really
right.
enjoy that. And Chris Hemsworth and Tom Hiddleston are amazing. I think they're gorgeous. Anyway, and also I also like to go to the mall, watch Netflix, play video games from time to time when I'm stressed. I like to.
I hear you.
Do things like that.
Yep.
Read, definitely read. I love to read a lot.
So do I. Yeah.
It's great. And it's anything I can do essentially to relax. Oh, especially meditation. I enjoy
just gonna
meditation
ask
a lot.
that,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually taught a meditation course
Did
at
you?
the self-advocacy regional conference.
Oh,
So
awesome. How was
really
that?
cool. It was really cool. I really enjoyed it. It seemed like the people that attended really enjoyed it as well. They got a lot out of it, so I'm definitely going to do it again.
I was
when
just
I
going to
have
ask,
a
would you do it
chance.
again?
Oh, for
Yeah.
sure. Absolutely.
Yeah.
It was great fun. And I think the people that participated had a lot of fun too, so that was helpful.
Where did you learn it from?
Meditation, honestly, I actually learned a lot from books.
Okay.
And so, and I kind of spent a lot of time learning a lot about the spiritual community through books, aside from being involved in like Lily Dale events and stuff like that. I also, just kind of, I needed to find a way to relax without having to do a million stretches or, things like that, because people with CP have to do that.
I know.
So, being able to learn how to meditate and relax my body without having to do all that stuff is actually really helpful. So, yeah. But one of the things, too, that I tend to find that I come across with a lot of people in regards to meditation is that people say, oh, I can't meditate. My mind is just too busy. I can't do it.
Right.
Well, I would like to actually sort of dispel a myth about meditation in that regard.
Okay.
The thing about meditation is that people talk about, your mind being empty and being pure and whatever. I believe, from my personal perspective, is that meditation is actually more about observing what you're thinking about and letting it flow instead of trying to silence it. Because if you try to silence your mind, it's like reverse psychology within your own mind. It doesn't work. But if you listen to your thoughts and just allow them to occur, that's when you reach a point where it all just becomes, it goes from a roar to complete silence. So you just need to be aware of your thoughts, and that's how you make them silent. So it's almost like you have to go in to come out. So if that makes any sense. So, yeah.
So getting back to you living on your own, what's your favorite? I mean, you said that you love the fact that you're on your own. No one's telling you what to do. Is that like your favorite thing? And is there like a downside to being on your own?
It does get lonely, that's for sure. And as much as I would love to have a pet or something, unfortunately that's not very conducive when, you have limited funds and stuff like that. But but the one thing that I actually really do enjoy the most about being on my own is just knowing that I can be.
Right.
And just knowing that I'm like everybody else, that I'm not just, a pair of crutches or, somebody who's crawling on the floor or whatever, I'm just like everybody else. Yeah. Knowing that is good enough, and in that regard, even if you're not, even if you're, I just want to say this for the sake of saying it, even if you're completely disjointed from the world, if you feel like you're completely separate from the world, you still are a person, and you deserve to have the ability to do what it is you want to do.
Right.
That's important.
I agree.
And, fighting for that is why I'm a part of self-advocacy. I don't care what you have or what you don't. If you want to do something to make a change, then self-advocacy is for you, for sure.
Exactly. Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. So, I agree with that. Yeah. Totally. Let's see. So you have a lot of friends in your life that help you out. Like, do you have like a circle of support and all that stuff?
Oh, absolutely. I have a circle of support. My circle of support is really consistent of my friends and some family members, but for sure, definitely my broker and my MSC too. Yeah. They're kind of necessary to having a circle of support. But the one thing that I really do enjoy about my circle of support is the fact that, first of all, we all get along.
There you go.
And that, secondly, I call the shots. So, when I want change, it happens.
Yes.
And it's not like snap my fingers and make something happen. We all talk about it.
Right.
It's not a, I'm not.
You're not a
my
nasty
slaves.
person.
Yeah. They're my friends. And I value them. Even the people that are actually hired and work with me, like my MSC and my broker, I consider them friends as well. Right. Even though they are professionals, they're still my friends as well.
Exactly.
So.
Yeah. So what's a day in the life of Alex like?
A day in the life of me. Well, usually the first thing I do when I wake up in the morning is I meditate for at least 5 minutes, just to kind of balance myself out. Because, sometimes we wake up in the morning and the first thing we do is stub our toe or something goes wrong and we're just like, oh my gosh, why? Yeah. And so it's good to just start off the day kind of just calm, because you need that. It's like my coffee. I call my meditation coffee because I don't drink coffee. Yeah. And so I'll get up, I'll meditate for 5 minutes. I'll take a shower, get dressed, and then I'll go. I might go for a walk, if depending on the weather. If it's bad outside, I might watch an hour of TV or so as I eat my breakfast.
Yeah.
And then I might go and work with my staff for a couple hours. We might go to a movie or go out to the mall or go to the casino. I'm not opposed to that.
Yeah.
And despite what people think, no, we don't know the winning lottery numbers.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
And then I'll come home, make some dinner, and maybe spend another hour watching some Shameless or Orange is the New Black or something like that.
Yeah. I love those shows.
Absolutely. And then then I'll maybe meditate again and then go to bed, and that's about it. Yeah.
So you do keep busy.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And any chance I get to be out and about with people is my bread and butter, because honestly, people spend too much time focusing on little things that it's hard, because we live in a world where we focus on our jobs, we focus on our we focus on the things that make us money so we can live better lives, and I get that.
Right.
But the problem is, when we focus so much on making money and doing those things, we lose sight. I feel like we almost lose sight of the bigger things in life.
I agree.
Yeah, it's hard, and I understand, and I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I want the world to be happier than what it is, and I don't think we can do that by doing what we're doing now.
I agree.
So.
Yeah, totally. You and I touched a little bit about your family and about how they supported you with your psychic ability.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Both. It was funny. My foster family was kind of interesting about it, because they're, like I said before, they were just kind of like, you're welcome to do whatever you want. Just don't bring a Ouija board in this house.
Yep.
And I said, that's fine. And I've never played with a Ouija board because I'm afraid of them myself.
Yeah, so am
I. And there's a reason for that. I'll explain that in a minute.
Yeah.
But yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But one of the things that they were really cool about is they really didn't. I wouldn't say they actively cheered me on, but they definitely just kind of let me do my own thing and didn't really stop me, or didn't call me a devil worshiper or any of that stuff.
Oh, there you go.
They just said, you believe what you believe, and we trust you, and
Yeah.
what's good and what's not, so we're just going to leave you to it. And so they did. And it was cool though. When my grandmother is actually very strong Christian woman, so when I came out of the psychic closet, as it was.
Yeah.
She was like, okay, that's kind of cool. I was kind of surprised, because I thought she was going to have more issues with it.
Yeah.
And then she did. We talked about it, and she talked about her concerns.
Yeah.
But overall, she was actually more open-minded about it than I thought.
Which
to
is
be
a good
honest.
thing.
Sorry,
Yes.
Grandma. Sorry if you're watching this.
But it's a good thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It was, and even my mom, she claims that because I am a person with CP.
Yes.
I'm actually closer to God because of that reason. So
Okay.
it actually makes more sense to her that I would have psychic abilities because of that reason.
Right.
I don't know if I follow that
Right.
logic
Right.
myself, but hey, if it works for her, then by all means.
Right.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And by the way, I just want to say hi, Mom, because I know she's watching.
So you were going to tell your Ouija board story?
Oh, yes. My friends have also had bad experiences with Ouija boards as well, to the point where, things were flying off the walls and crosses were turning upside down, things like that. But part of the reason why I don't play with Ouija boards is you don't know who you're contacting when you use your Ouija board.
Yeah.
Mostly because people don't know how to use them correctly.
Yes.
Because you can use a Ouija board safely. However, a lot of people just say, okay, who's here?
Right.
And when you do that, you're opening yourself up to anybody and anything, and that can be dangerous.
Yes.
If you say, I want to talk to my great aunt Sylvia or whatever, you're actually inviting just her in without inviting anybody else in. So that's kind of cool. The other thing you want to do when you use a Ouija board too, and I want to mention this, is you want to be sure, like I said, your intention is pure, but also that you have asked for a circle of light around you that will allow you protection from negative entities as well. And when you're done having the session, make sure you close the session so that any spirits that do come are able to leave as well. So also, I'd like to discuss something else, if you don't mind.
By all means.
One of the things that I heard when I was at the fundraiser was that people were concerned because they said they came in for the fundraiser and they saw that psychics were there and they said, "Oh, we can't participate in this fundraiser because psychics are working there, and we don't want to have that energy around us, and they're evil and blah blah blah." And I understand the logic behind that. I really do.
Right.
I understand the fear.
Right.
However, I as much as I do understand it, I also don't, because if you're working with a good psychic, that good psychic won't listen to anything else but their heart and their spirit guides. And your spirit guides are beings of light. They're meant to be, beings of guidance and beings of wisdom. The thing is, there are psychics out there who are, charlatans who say, "Oh, you're cursed, and we'll give you $50.
Okay, I hate to cut you off, but
Sure.
we've only got like 2 minutes left.
Oh,
so if there is
okay.
anything you want to tell the audience, now's your chance.
Perfect. No, by all means. I just want to say, thank you, first of all, for having me. And second of all, for anybody else who has questions about psychics or wants to get a reading with me, please check out my website at psychicalexj.com. I'm more than happy to, have a consult with you before we actually do the reading so that you're more comfortable. If you're new to readings or, any of that, by all means, just contact me. I'm not going to bite your head off. I'm not going to charge you for that. It's a really cool thing, and I really do want to help a lot of people. So, by all means.
Okay. Thank you for coming today. It's been great talking to you.
Yeah, great talking to you too. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, and thank you all for coming and joining us in our studio today, audience, and we hope that you will join us again next time on Self-Advocacy in Action.
This is Eric Kazan speaking for Self-Advocacy in Action, a Santa's Western production. To see more episodes of Self-Advocacy in Action,
Fuck.